With Spectra, you can build ultra-fast, modern websites, and it's easy enough to use even if you're a beginner. Hi, welcome to the Spectra walkthrough. I'm going to show you everything you need to know about getting started with Spectra. Before we get into the demonstration, let me first explain why we developed Spectra. Now, we all know that there are a lot of WordPress page builders out there, and we also know that there's a lot of common problems when it comes to using third-party page builders. I'm talking about performance issues, compatibility issues, stability issues, lack of uniformity, as well as a high learning curve. And as you know, in 2018, WordPress introduced their own page builder called Block Editor, or otherwise known as Gutenberg. Although it provides great foundation to create basic designs within WordPress, at the moment, it's quite limited. Its target user base are not website makers, but mostly bloggers, publishers, and people who want to create simple websites. This means that Block Editor is often not enough for those of you who want to create custom, modern designs for your WordPress website. For example, there's no powerful layout system with the rows and column structure, which is actually a backbone of custom design web pages. The blocks available are also quite limited. They lack the customizability and design flexibility needed to create beautiful websites without using any coding. And Block Editor currently doesn't have any workflow features like copy-paste styles or presets that a lot of other third-party page builders currently do. And lastly, it also lacks modern features which help you build mobile-friendly websites easily. And that's quite a lot of limitations and problems, right? And this is where Spectra comes in. Spectra is a page builder developed on top of Gutenberg. Its mission is to help you build ultra-fast, modern websites while also being easy enough for a beginner to use. And what's great is Spectra works with all themes. With Spectra, you get a powerful layout system with rows and column structure, and it provides a range of essential and customizable blocks that you can build your websites with. It has features to help you build mobile-ready websites, and it won't slow down your website either. And most importantly, it's built on top of WordPress core, making it compatible with all other plugins too. And since Gutenberg is part of that core, all other plugins build for it too. WooCommerce, various SEO plugins, and more all have blocks built for the core, meaning that you can use them alongside Spectra, and all of these plugins will be compatible with Spectra straight out of the box. This means that custom modules are no longer needed for compatibility, like with third-party page builders. It's much simpler with Spectra. Now that I've told you why we built Spectra, let's take it for a spin, shall we? Alright, here I am in my WordPress dashboard, and to install Spectra is just like any other plugin. You simply go into plugins right here and press add new. And from there, you can go ahead and search for Spectra right here in the search bar. Or if you have the zip file, we can go and upload it right here. Right here, you can choose the file, and we have our Spectra zip file right here. Then we can press install now. And there we go, the plugin has been installed successfully. Next, we can also go ahead and activate the plugin as well. Awesome, Spectra has now been activated, and this is what the main menu for Spectra looks like. First thing I want to show you is in the blocks menu. Let's go right here in the blocks. And here you can see all the blocks that come with Spectra. As you can see, you have a whole range of different blocks you can use to create your web pages with. And you might also notice that we have a toggle button right beside each and every block, and that's to allow you to disable or enable any block that you'd like to. For example, if you've finished creating your website and you want to disable all the blocks that you haven't used, you can do that. You simply click on this toggle right here to disable the block, or you can press it again to activate it, just like that. And right at the top here, we have all the different categories of blocks that we have on Spectra. For example, if I go into posts right here, you can see all the blocks related to posts. The same for content, social, and so on. Next, let's check out the settings right here. And on the first tab, we have editor options. And here you can set the width of the container layout, which I'll show you in just a bit. And the other options here, like collapse panels and copy-paste styles, will help enhance your editing experience. For now, let's just keep these at default. And next, we have asset generation right here, related to CSS and JavaScript. We have templates. I'll talk more about our templates later in the video. We have version control. For example, if you're facing any issues with the current version of Spectra, you can roll back to a previous version. And also you can enable this right here, enable beta, to be notified when a new beta version of Spectra is available. Next, we also have performance related settings right here, mostly related to how it will handle your fonts. And lastly, in coming soon, you can enable a coming soon page. Now that I've given you an overview of Spectra's settings, let's go and create a new page using Spectra's blocks. So we go into pages right here, and we're going to press add new. And for this website I'm using, all I've done is install the Astra theme. And right now, let's go ahead and create a beautiful home page for it. First, I'm going to give our page a title. I'm going to call it Spectra Test, just like this. And now we can begin adding our first Spectra block. To do that, let's go and press the top left button right here. Right at the top here, we see Spectra along with all the different blocks that come with it. And the first one we want to add is called the container block right here. If you think about it, every website you build will be structured the same. They will have containers and content inside those containers. These containers help provide structure to all your content, like text, images, video. All of these can be placed inside containers. So of course, the first block we're going to add is going to be a container. So if I click on it right here, it's gone ahead and added a container onto our page. And what's really cool about this is it allows us to select a layout structure of our choice from the 12 options here. And so far with Block Editor, a row and column layout structure has been missing, but with Spectra, we're able to create that, which is amazing. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be creating a homepage for our website. And the first thing that's going to go here is going to be our hero fold. So the layout I'm going to choose is this one here. And here we have our container right there, all good to go. You might notice once I clicked on it, it's highlighted that in blue. And on the right-hand side, you can see all the settings related to that block. With all the blocks in Spectra, you get the same 3 tabs you see right here. You get General, Style, and Advanced. General lets you customize all the elements inside that block, and Style lets you customize how they look. And for the Advanced tab, it's exactly what it sounds like. It has some advanced features for that block. So for the container block under General, we have size-related settings, so we can adjust the container width, whether it's full width, boxed, or custom, the content width, boxed and full width, and we also have these sliders down here to adjust the content box width and the minimum height as well. Before we add our first block into this container, let's go ahead and adjust the size of it. So the content box width right here, I'm going to change that to 860, just like that. Alternatively, you could also slide this right here, just like that, and you can see it changing right in front of you. I'm just going to enter a solid number once again, and that's going to be 720 for container, and it looks like our container is good to go. Now we can begin adding our first block into our container, and to do that, we can just press this plus icon right here, and the one we want to add is going to be a call to action block. And we can already see it right here, but let's go ahead and type it in, just like that, and we have our call to action block there, and if we click on it, that's going to be added into our container right here. And there we go, we have our call to action block right there in the middle of our container. And already it looks decent, but with Spectra, you get the option to customize it as much as you want until you get the design that you're after. On the right-hand side, we have similar settings for this block. And what's really cool about Spectra is that most of our blocks come with these preset designs you see here. For example, we have this one here, and we also have this one here for a call to action block. And these presets are super useful because it gives you a professional design in just a single click. I personally like this one here, so we can use that. And then you can also manually adjust the text alignment, whether it be left, center, or right. I'm going to leave it on center. And because it's a hero fold, I want the heading to be a really large heading. So we're going to go from H3 down here in the heading tag to H1. And that looks a lot better to me. And we can also choose whether we want the layout to be inline. So the description right here align with that button, or we can have it stacked like this, where all the elements are stacked on top of each other. I like the stacked look, and we can proceed with that. Next, we also have options to adjust the button. We have 3 different button options, as well as no button. We have a text button, regular button, as well as a complete box, which turns that whole block into a button itself, which is pretty cool. We're going to use a regular button. If we want to adjust the text, we can do that here as well. Let's change this to get started, like that. That looks pretty good. Of course, we can add a link down here as well. And we also have a toggle right here to allow that link to be open in a new window. You can do that if you'd like to. And down here, we can also select an icon to add into that button. Let me show you. So if we select this, we have 72 icons we can choose from. For example, let's go with this one here. That adds it to the button. We can also choose the icon position as well, which is really cool. I'm just going to remove that icon now. We also have an option to add an additional button right here with the same exact settings as the first one. So as you can see, you have a whole lot of customization options, and this is just for the call to action block. And as you saw earlier, we have a whole bunch of different blocks with Spectra, and they're all customizable just like this. And now if I go into the style tab, I'll just quickly show you what options we have. We can modify the heading right here, the description, the text here, the button, as well as the spacing. So if I go into heading, we have options to modify the typography and the color. So if I open that up, you can see that we already have a default font family. And what Spectra is doing here is it's actually loading up your typography styles from your theme. So whatever styles that you've enabled or set up in your theme, Spectra will load it up and start using it. It makes it really convenient. Same thing with the color as well. So if I open up the color, you can see it's currently set to transparent, but it's already using a color from your theme. And all the colors you've selected as part of your color palette. For example, with Astra, we have our global color palette, and these are the colors I've chosen in that. And Spectra's already loaded those up, and they have them ready for me to use within Block Editor. It's incredibly convenient. And right now I can just go and select any color I want from right here. For example, if I wanted a yellow heading, I can click that. And there we go. My headings changed to yellow. I'm going to reset that just here. And similar settings for the description as well. Anything related to text, you can adjust the typography and the color. We can also adjust the button here. So if I drop that down, we can adjust the button text color, the background color. We can add a border to the button as well, with a few different styles, as you can see here. We can change the button radius like this. Just gonna leave it at maybe 2 right there, so it's a little bit rounded on the corners. And we also have some spacing options here as well. All right, I'm pretty happy with how our call to action block looks. And I'll quickly show you what the advanced tab has as well. So if I go into here, we have responsive conditions here. So if I drop it down, you can see that we have 3 different options for this block. We have hide on desktop, hide on tablet, and hide on mobile. If you want to hide this block on any one of these devices, you can do so right here. The choice is completely up to you. And just here with advanced, you can add an HTML anchor and additional CSS classes down here as well. So all the settings you can think of are all integrated within Spectra for each and every one of these blocks, which is pretty amazing. All right, I'm pretty happy with how our call to action block looks. And now what we can do is add a background onto this container right here. Let me show you how to do that. So what we're going to do first is click on our container right here to bring up all the settings for that container. Then we're going to go into style. Before we go into background, you can see we have a bunch of different settings here. We got background, border, box shadow, shape dividers, and spacing. So many customization options. It's totally up to you what you do with it. For this video, let's go with background. And here it lets you choose the type of background. For example, we have color. And if I open up the color, you can see we have our color palette good to go down here. If I wanted the yellow background, we can do that. Or if you want to select the custom color, we can do that as well. I'm going to reset that, and I'm actually going to select an image for our background here. Let's select an image here. I've already gone ahead and uploaded some images ahead of time. And the one that I'll upload here is going to be this one. And we can press select. And in an instant, our background has now been changed to that image. And it looks pretty cool, but we still need to customize it a little bit to make it look as best as it can. If I scroll down on the settings here, we have some more options related to how that image is positioned on our background. A really cool feature here is attachment. So you can choose how that image is attached to your page. Currently it's set to scroll. So it's going to scroll with our page as we scroll up and down. But next, if we change it to fixed, it will stay fixed in place as we scroll down like this, which is really cool. I'm going to leave it on scroll. And you can also adjust the size, how it repeats. But the issue right now is that we're not able to read the text on our call to action block right here. The background kind of looks harsh and the colors seem to blend a little bit. So what we should do is try and boost the readability of the text on our call to action block. And to do that, we have some options here, overlay type. So we can add a color or a gradient overlay on top of this background image. Let me show you. So I'm going to select color, and already it's applied a white overlay on top of our image, and our text is already looking a little bit more readable. Let's go ahead and change this a little bit more. We can change the color here. And this time I'm going to select a manual color, and I think that looks pretty good. You can maybe adjust this to be a little bit darker. And in my opinion, that's perfect. And the only thing left to do is to change the color of the text we see here. And once again, to do that, we can select the block. We can go into style right here. And if we go into heading, we have the color option right here for that heading. We can select the color. We can go with a white like this one here. And that looks really good to me. And we can do the same thing for the description as well. We can change that to white. Awesome. That's a lot more readable. And I think that looks really good. Next, let's quickly change the text here. I'm going to type in something like this. And as you saw, it's really simple to change the text. All you have to do is click on the text that you want to change or highlight it and begin typing away. Very easy. And there you go. Our hero fold looks pretty good. Next, let's go ahead and add a services section just below this. Once again, we're going to have to add a container just like this. And for our services section, I want to add a heading that says services. And we're going to add 3 columns after that to include our different services as well. First, we're going to add this one right here, the same one as before, so we can add our title. There we go. Our container is now added. And then we can go and add our new block in here as well. We can go add block. And the one we want to search for is called heading. So we can type that in here. And we have block editors, heading block right here. But the one we're after is the Spectra one, this one here. We can press that. And there we go. Our new attractive heading is ready for us to customize. And by selecting this, you can see on the right-hand side, we have similar settings as our call to action block with some presets as well. So the first preset we have is that one there. We have the central one here, and we also have this kind of like a mix of both right there. I like the central one here with the separator in between. And now if we drop the content menu down, we can align it manually once again, change the heading tag like so. And we also have options to adjust the separator style. Currently it's solid, but we can change it to dashed, dotted, anything you'd like. And within styles, you have similar options as before to adjust the heading with the typography and the color, but you also have spacing as well, similar with the description as well, typography and color. But what I want to adjust next is the separator here. You can see we have width. We can adjust the width just like that. Something like that looks pretty good. And we can also adjust the thickness like this. You can customize it to look exactly how you want to. And that's the beauty of Spectra. And next, we should also probably change the color of that separator down here. So currently it's the blue. So let's click that and choose a different color. Let's go with the yellow right here. I'm happy with how that looks. And now we can go ahead and change the text here and write our services. So if I highlight that, I can begin modifying it really easily. Simple as that. And I might also remove some text here just to make it a little bit cleaner looking, like that, and like that as well. And now let's go ahead and add another container and add the columns where we'll add our different services. Once again, you guessed it, I'm going to add a container. And this time I'm going to select the 3-column layout right here. There we go. Here's our layout with 3 smaller containers inside that parent container. So to add our next block, I can press the plus icon once again. And this time I'm looking for the info box, this one right here. But if you can't find it, you can always search for it right here as well. We're going to add the info box. And just like that, our info box block is right there for us to use. And similar to the other blocks we've used, we also have the same kind of settings on the right-hand side with 5 presets available as well. So if I click through them, you can see all the different presets available for this block. And for info box block, I'm going to go with this preset here. It looks really nice and minimal without any button. And if you want to customize it even further, of course, you have all the options down here. And what I want to do next is add an image onto this info box. To do that, we can go right here where it says image/icon, and we can enable icon/image here. And currently it's got an icon added for us. And similar to before, you can choose any icon you want out of the 72 we have on offer. Otherwise, you could upload your own icon or image by clicking right here. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to upload our own image. We can select image here. And once again, I've already got it uploaded for us to use. And the one I want to use here is this one right here. Let's go and select that. And there we go. It's added that image in there for us. And currently it looks pretty small. And that's because the image size currently is set to thumbnail. We can change this to medium or full right here. But you might notice that it didn't change too much. And that means we have to go into style and modify it further. So if I go into style, we can go into icon and image. And what we have here is the width. You can slide this around until it looks exactly like how you want it to be, or you can turn off custom width to make it take up the whole width of that block. And in my opinion, the info box looks really good. The one thing I want to adjust next is just this heading right here, which we can do here, where it says title. We can click on typography, and we can slide this to change the font style. I'm going to leave it on 25, something like that. And you can customize it even further if you'd like to. But for now, I think that looks perfect. And what we can do next is add our next 2 info boxes. Let me add those now. There we go, info box. That's added in, and we can add another one right here as well. Awesome. And when you're creating similar elements on your web page like this, it can be really tedious and time consuming if you have to design each and every one separately. But with Spectra, you don't have to worry about that. Let me show you. So we currently have this one we spent time designing right here. What we can do next is click on it, and we have this paintbrush icon right here, Spectra, copy and paste. You might already know what I'm about to do next. So if I click this, we can copy that style and we can paste it right here onto this new info box widget, and watch what happens. And boom, just like that, the styling on this info box that we designed earlier has now been applied to this new info box that was originally a default design. Same thing right here. So if I go and click that and paste the style like that, and boom, it looks just like that first one here. And the only thing you'll notice here is the image hasn't changed, and that's because we have to go and select the image ourselves, which we can do really easily. All right, let me quickly go ahead and add our new images onto our blocks here. And there we go. We have 3 different info boxes with 3 different images, but with the same styling on the text and the title. Looks awesome, and it was really easy to do, as you saw. Next, I'm going to change the titles right here and make them a little bit different from one another. Let me do that now. There we go. I've just added some titles here, and that looks fantastic. And you saw how easy it was to create this page thus far. It didn't take any time at all. And before we go even further with creating our page, I just want to show you another really cool feature we have in Spectra. You might notice this icon right here beside a lot of our different settings. And if I click on that, you can choose which device you want to emulate on your page right here. Currently it's set to desktop, but you also have tablet view and you also have mobile view. And as you can see, our page looks just as good on tablet view as well. If I change that into mobile, you can see it's adapted perfectly and it looks beautiful on all our devices here. And there we go, we're back on desktop. And as you saw, it was really easy to change from desktop to mobile to tablet. And our website looks brilliant on all platforms. This feature is really helpful, and it's all towards helping you create responsive, beautiful, and fully functional websites, not only on desktop, but on tablets and on mobile devices as well. All right, let's continue designing our page. Now, just below here, we're going to add a testimonial section. So once again, we're going to add a new container, just like this. We can select our single container like that. And once again, let me quickly adjust the settings here and change the height and content box width. And the content box width is going to be 700. And the minimum height I'm going to keep it at 400. There we go. That looks like a good size to me. And we're going to press the add block and we're going to look for testimonials. And here we are. The one we want is this one here, testimonials. I click on that and that brings up this beautiful testimonial block you see here. And you can adjust the number of testimonials and number of columns as well. For example, like that, you can have multiple testimonials, or you can feature just one testimonial just like this as well. Now you see what it looks like by default, but let me go ahead and customize this even further and show you what we can do. And voila, would you look at that? In just a few minutes, I was able to turn our default testimonial block into this one you see right here. All I had to do was adjust the image right there, change the font styles a little bit, and I also added a color onto the background. It was very easy to do, and the only thing I did was customize it just like how we did with the other blocks. And that looks quite good to me now. And just below this, we're going to add our last block. Once again, I'm going to add a container, and this is going to be another call to action right at the bottom of our page. So we're going to go with a single one right here, and we're going to add a call to action once again, this one right here. All right, we have our default call to action block. What I'm going to do now is quickly go ahead and customize this even further. Let's go. And here is my customized call to action block. I've gone ahead and converted the default call to action to what you see on screen right now. And with that, we've just completed our whole homepage, and all by using Spectra's blocks. It looks amazing, and it only took a few minutes to build this whole page. Now let's publish this and check out what it looks like on the front end of our website. There you have it. We have this amazing homepage that we built using Spectra. We have our wonderful hero fold right here with a beautiful background and overlay, a call to action block right here. We have our services section right here. We have our amazing info boxes right here with the exact design we created with the image and the text. And don't forget, we were able to copy all our styles from the first one we created onto the two we see here. And down below, we have our testimonial section as well. And finally, we have our call to action block at the bottom too. And that's it. That's our homepage, and it looks fantastic. It was all created using Spectra. And for those of you who don't want to create a web page from scratch and need a little bit of inspiration, we have a solution for you as well. You might have noticed we have this button right here that says template kits. And we also saw templates within the settings for Spectra as well. If we click on it right here, you'll see our library of amazing templates that you can load up in just a few minutes. These are all fully functional and professionally designed templates that you can use on your website. As I scroll through, you can see we have a range of different templates to suit any niche you're after. And similarly, we also have block patterns right here that you can choose from with a bunch of different styles and designs that can suit any website. And if you don't want any content and you only want wireframes, we got you covered as well. We can go into wireframes up here, and we have beautiful and professionally designed wireframes that are ready to import onto your web page. Simply find the one you want and press the import button right there to import it onto your page. Let me show you how it works with one of our templates. We go back here, let's look for one that we like. If I scroll down, let's go ahead with this mountain one you see here. And once you click on a template you like, it will show you a preview of what all the pages look like. For example, we have the about page right here. We have a beautiful contact page. And again, these are all fully functional and professionally designed. They look amazing. And we have the home page. And once you've decided what template you want to use, all you have to do is press this button right here that says import template. Once you press that, it will begin importing the template onto your web page. And there we go. We have that whole page template we saw earlier, all loaded up for us to work on. Right here, you can see all the different blocks, the design, everything has been loaded up for us right here, and it's fully customizable. And what's really cool is you might notice the colors that we have here are the same as the website we built earlier. And that's because the template has loaded up all the colors and typography styles that we've set in our theme. So any typography or colors you've selected in your theme will all be loaded into this template as well. This makes it incredibly convenient for you to load up any template you want and begin building your web pages. And as you saw in this video, using block editor is a lot better with Spectra. But that's only scratching the surface with what Spectra can do for you. Our mission with Spectra is to help you build fast and modern websites while also being easy enough to use even if you're a beginner. We want it to be the closest thing to hand coding without actually coding, and we put in a lot of effort to make sure that the websites you build with Spectra are super fast. Spectra is all you need to build amazing websites with dozens of essential, carefully crafted, customizable blocks and hundreds of templates, so you don't have to start from scratch either. And if you're excited now, this is just the beginning. We've got a long roadmap for Spectra, and we've got a lot more coming, like theme builder, dynamic content, and more workflow features to help you build websites with beautiful, fast, and advanced blocks. So make sure you stay tuned. For more Spectra content and WordPress tutorials, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.